what influence has the media had on people's perceptions of climate change? How influential
it's had a huge influence. I mean, of course, there's been a lot of talk about climate change and disaster, but the arguments have been presented by the media as a sort of as something that people are open to have an opinion on in a completely ignorant sort of a way. So you can be pro-climate change or anti-climate change as if you're supporting Manchester City or Manchester United.
Wrong city.
Oh, sorry. Without understanding any of the issues, that's not to say I do want people to discuss it and understand what's going on, and if they're sceptical about the arguments, good for them, and let's talk about and argue it through. But the media presents it as something that's that, you know, you can be quite ignorant on, but still have a position on. Which was so nice to see your interviews with the people on the videos, because they'd already thought about things and they were, you know, they did understand some of the issues and they were really thinking about it. So I thought that was very good.
We definitely got that impression, actually.
Yes. I think one of the difficulties is that the media tends to have polarised the whole thing. So and you get almost this religious thing that I believe in climate change or I'm an atheist. And really, I mean, we should be questioning all the time, but really the agenda has moved on from are we doing something to the climate system to just how much are we doing? And it's not really a question of I don't believe in climate change or I believe. We should have moved on from that, but if you're on the Today programme, you're going to get one from this side and one from this side, and really the argument doesn't go any further, and that's been the danger of a lot of the media discussion on this.
Okay, well, before we open up any more additional questions, I'm going to give you a chance to come back on some of those comments if you want to. We have a couple of microphones at the front, which I think somebody is going to come and help us run the mics.
I just had a quick, is this one? Yeah. I had a quick comment about the geo-engineering argument and justifying research in it, in that a lot of these schemes are cheap enough for an individual state to embark on themselves. So it's really worth looking into these things to understand what's going to happen if someone does it anyway, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I just comment on it? I think the sort of international legal implications, if one state starts to do this and someone else gets a tropical cyclone going through, they, you know, has that tropical cyclone occurred because of this geoengineering that was going on? So the legal framework in which this could actually happen, I think, sort of makes the Kyoto process look easy.
Isn't there a precedent for that on a smaller scale in the United States where they tried seeding clouds in the 50s and people downstream were complaining that they'd had their rain stolen? It's very complex. And in terms of putting sulfur dioxide and sulfur particles into the stratosphere, then you've got a whole new kettle of fish you're opening up to do with atmospheric chemistry, ozone composition, and feedbacks on climate through those sort of things. So it's very, very dangerous. I think tinkering like this without full knowledge of what's going to happen is very dangerous.
There's a question in the back, far corners.
Just back to the issue on the media, and you said you tend to get portrayed one side pro, one side poor, and you finished by saying we need to move on. Were you indicating that your feeling was there's no argument, we need to move on because it is what it is, it's caused by...
No, I think it was really, I don't think if you get the atheist and the evangelical giving a 2-minute discussion of a topic, you get very far. And I think we need to actually get a little deeper into the discussion than that would suggest. So I'm suggesting not that the argument's over. The discussion should be there very much, but we should try and not get just this sort of polarised debate, but actually discuss some of the real issues.
Sorry, but I'm going to go back to the technical solutions to climate change again. And you said it would be a stopgap solution, and my worry is that if we give governments an opportunity to not do anything for 20 years or so, that they really won't. Comment.
I would agree with that. I mean, I think given how short-termist most governments are, they think it's off their backs for the next 5 years, they'll be delighted. So that's another dangerous aspect I quite agree.
And going along with that is once you've started doing it, you've almost committed to keeping going, throwing this stuff into the stratosphere or whatever you've started doing, because once you stop, you'll then realise all that was building up in the system that you've been stopping, you know. So it would have to be thought about incredibly carefully to actually do it. But I think the argument that actually we should do the science which I think will actually illustrate, as was suggested before, that you may compensate the global radiation energy balance, but you certainly, the chances that you compensate the climate in every spot are almost negligible.